Okay, I got a big revelation for you guys today. I told you I'd try to finish up this video. I had a few clips where I was changing out some resistors. I think it was this one I hadn't changed. 100K plate load because it's connected to this plate and this plate. On the first 12AX7 there's the 12AY, which I do use the 6072, and then the 12AX. Well, this, I'll go to the layout, is right here crammed into the socket from pin 1 to pin 6. Easy to get out, but not that easy to get back in. Plus, on top of that, pin 1 is soldered together with pin 7. Well, okay, this thing looked pretty burnt and it was old, so I decided maybe that's where my static was coming from. So I put that in there, and I'm rechecking this connection here between 1 and 7, and it's all soldered together with the lead on the resistor. So it's pretty tricky and hard to get your little hand, or my big hands, in there. But anyway, in the process, this wire came off, so I resoldered it here. This wire, this is the key to this whole discovery. After all these years of been playing this amp, I just gained a whole tube of gain, or let's say a half a tube of gain. No wonder I couldn't drive the amp. All you guys, everything you've heard up to this point is not all that Bassman could put out. I'm going to put a little demo here. Hopefully I can play this morning. My hands are kind of rough, but either way, I started looking, and this wire here, this key wire that goes to the tone stack, goes to the treble, bass, and middle and presence up here. It all comes from this this little section here. Was soldered to pin number 7 instead of 8, and I thought, well, what's up here? The schematic wrong or what? So I called Gerald Weber. He said he didn't really understand, so he told me to call him the next day. In the meantime, I didn't want to wait. I saw that there was a little piece of wire in the eyelet of pin 8. So I said, well, shoot, it looks like that wire was soldered in the wrong place, and it used to be here. So I put the wire back on pin 8 and turned it on, just took a chance, and holy crap, the amp just lit up, and I'm going, oh my gosh, this sounds so wonderful. I can't believe it. It was like getting a new Bassman after all these years. I mean, I've gigged with this thing for 2 years and it sounds great. Well, now I basically, talking to Gerald, gained half of a tube of gain right here. It's the tone stack is supposed to be cathode follower. This is the cathode, and that wire 8, pin 8, was right here, and that goes to the tone stack here, and they call that a cathode follower. And the tone stack works much better now. It's all more interactive, but the pin 7 was basically coming from here somewhere, and Gerald explained that I was pretty much cutting the voltage off of this plate in half, so I had lost half of the gain of this tube. So when I moved it over here, I gained all the gain of this tube back. So after all these years, it never hurts. Well, if you have a very knowledgeable amp tech, I'd taken the same amp to Gerald's amp camp, and he says, I'm surprised we didn't catch that. But it's very hard when you're looking at little sockets and little pins, and you just wouldn't notice it. This thing was one pin off. It was sounding okay. It was working great. I think I actually lost my stack. I don't know if it was because of me replacing this resistor or me moving this, but it's on right now. It's on right now. It's got a crap load of gain. I'll show you how I can overdrive it now. This is scratchy. I've got a couple of leaky Astron capacitors that I did discover, and I'm going to change those with Sozo caps, which are supposed to be great, the handmade vintage ones. I should get those tomorrow. Probably I'll put another video on. This one's not scratchy, but I've cleaned this one over and over. And he says that it's probably leaking DC onto the pot. But I got way more bass than I used to have, so I don't even hardly turn the bass up. Got a lot more mids now. Presence seems to work really good. You can hear it. But just killer tone. I mean, I can turn it up to 4.5 and get a, well, not on that channel, but on this one. These are actually interactive, so you can turn this up and get a little more volume even though you're not in that channel. Hear how the volume goes up? And I'll have that fixed tomorrow, hopefully. Just unbelievable overdrive now. I will put on a video right now.